Hey, what's up, you guys? What's going on? My trades for the day was actually one single stock. Sorry about that. I accidentally. Anyways, my trade for the day was only on AFRM, AFRM, also known as AFRM Holdings Incorporation. I think that's what the INC is for. Sorry about that again. So it's kind of funny because I was going along with what another his name is Sean. He trades for trades trade trade. I don't really know. Daily trade something like that. They do a live. They have a live show of their own, and they actually trade live with a prop money. No, firm prop money, something like that. I really do not recall. So the thing is, he had mentioned that he was long on. I don't recall whether it's 126 or 127, but the thing is, he was going to buy the dip at 126, and there it came. But I had seen initially the fact that the day before it had ran, like I previously stated in the latest video, previous video, and so it holding this, I would say, bullish momentum at the end of the closing, and actually I think it was all-time high for the day. Yeah, I had realized that at least the first 30 minutes of the market, it was going to have some bullish momentum, and so therefore whenever I was trying to look at any levels, I was checking for the 131, and as well I think if you go back to the yeah, if it broke the 129 from the previous day, I had realized no. Well, I don't think that matters. It had broke the 129 from previous highest day, and then this 131 also pre-market high. I'd seen that it was those two were price targets that I would need to watch out for, in my opinion. Like I said previously, that I am new to this, so those two were the ones that I had seen. And so let's go back to today's trades and how it started off in the day. So whenever I had seen this, whenever I had seen this red, I'm not gonna lie, in this red bar, I realized I was not going to get that bullish momentum that I had hoped for, and I was not gonna go for a call. I was gonna go actually for a put, but thank God I didn't, because what I had seen was, I feel like it is, but I don't know exactly. But I feel like this candle was something that would have. Okay, let's not go, but what I would have thought, but what I actually saw, which was whenever this thing had popped up, I had seen this level, as where there's not much of well, there is a somewhat consolidation rip, consolidation to the downside, and so whenever I had seen it, whenever I had seen this, I had bought it because I actually think that I had bought it at this wick. At this candle, and I bought it like at the 130 break, as like I said last trading before the market closed was 129 of break, and so I had seen that one, and whenever I had seen that it had beaten that sorry about that high of the day from the high of previous day trade, I had seen that it was going to a push to the upside. I waited this little consolidation phase. I was a little bit hesitant in this one whenever I had seen that one. Um, I was kind of worried, but I had seen that the MACD was picking up. And so I went ahead and hold my call. I had 4 call options, and I was able to hold onto them. And so I had previous. No, this wasn't made. I actually had this. So let's go ahead and backtrack a little bit. I had seen this rip up, and it was just gonna go down. Uh, I held. I had seen that the MACD was still holding good. I seen this one. You can see that the MACD is still high, increasing, and then it increased. And like around this wicks, I was like $600 up. But the only thing that I failed to do in this trade was somewhat look at the chart and actually understand what it was showing. Whenever I had actually, whenever I was trading it, I had seen this. I had placed this trend line, and whenever I I'd seen that this first two, I think it was these two I mean, I think it was these two candles where I was like, okay, this time to take profit. I think around this time, around this week, I took one, and then around this time I took two, and then I know for sure that whenever this trend line was broken, I was just gonna get out. I didn't. I took like someone of a loss on that one, but I mean, I had hope that it would rip, and again, um, and it didn't. Now, like I mean, I'm already positive today. I made a lot of money, in my opinion, for this trade. To be somewhat of a losing trade for me, so I was like, okay, I'm done with the call options, and this was actually, whenever I had seen that this had happened, I what I failed to do was place a put, and I will go back in the detail in further detail whenever I get into here, because um, I placed a put around this, as like you could see that the MACD was showing that it was bearish. Placed it was just one put option, but either way, I lost money on that one. Um, and I seen that it was holding up it was holding and consolidating in this range for that one. Like I said, you see how this one also will consolidate during this time, during this area range. And so I had seen this, and I was like, okay. I actually, funny thing is that I was actually I was holding and telling myself to hold and actually stay true to my conviction, because at first I had seen that it was rejecting these two, and once I had seen, actually, I recall that I sold at this green candle, and right after that one, I seen that that this candle bar was red, and so whenever I had seen that, I was like, man, made a bad trade, because I knew it was gonna go down, and so it was just consolidated and it ripped down, and so this is where I messed up. This is where I go ahead and reiterate to myself that stay true to your convictions. If you actually do believe, if the graph is showing you what you believe in, stay true to your conviction. As if I would have done this, I would have been able to make this trade better. And I say that because whenever I had seen this, I think I took another put, not around this actually. I made up another put around this area, because I thought that it was just gonna get a small bounce back and actually do like it did right here, where it just ripped and then went down. And so I had seen that, and I was like, okay, let me go ahead and try to put another put. I go ahead and put another put, it rips. Okay, now let's go back to this previous range area. Will it be a support area? Will it rip all the way up and test this previous resistance level? And it actually did not. It was just a false. It wasn't even a breakout. It was just like it rejected that support, and that support became resistance. And we can see how that previous support became a resistance as it just didn't consolidate and went back down to the downside. And around this area, I don't recall, but 10, 11. Actually, no, not really. I don't think this is where I'd seen. I think I actually put right here, so that's my fault. But the thing is that I actually had seen that though. Sorry about that. I had seen that it was just going to the downside. You can see that this, I don't know if you can say that this was a real trend line, but it wasn't. Like, it failed to break out of 200 EMA. The 15 MA was still being broken down. Not Do not move. The 15 MA was still being rejected. Reject. I guess. 15 MA around this here was a resistance, and so this is where I actually made another put, because I can see that I had drawn an arrow to the downside, because that's what I had previously thought it would do. And so I had thought that whenever this would happen, it would go down. And so it would just consolidate. It was just consolidating, and it was not doing me well with having that higher, with lower lows and higher. It wasn't really high, but lower lows was what I was looking for. And whenever I seen this consolidation and this strip up, I was like, nope, I'm gonna get my hand slapped. And like I said, stay true to convictions, because I held actually during this. I held during this. One thing, I think I held during this, and I sold during this. I held and I sold during this breakout to this trend line that I had put. And one thing that I had seen was that whenever I had drawn this line, you can see how it was just literally trading right here. And these two previous losses would have been actually a small win. I would have not lost $40. I think I lost. And I mean, if I would have just held into the end of the, well, it doesn't really matter. But if I would have just sold at the end of the market day, I would have also been able to make that money back if I actually was gonna get stuck back holding. Sorry about that. So I seen that, and I was literally telling myself, man, I should have held, because of the fact that I knew that I was gonna get my hand slapped by selling, as I previously said that this line was actually being respected, and it was showing me that was the downside. But overall, I did a good trade, I could say, because I didn't get stuck back holding. And the only downside that I had for the day that I can recall for myself was this wick candle, I would call. Whenever I had seen this one, I told myself, man, if I would have just realized that this was like that, I would have sold at the really next candle bar, because of the fact that I actually knew, like whenever that had happened, I knew that it was gonna go down. Not predicted, but I realized that okay, this happened, therefore these three bars, these next bars are going to be bearish and I'm going to lose. And that's why I think it's either this one or this one, where I had sold my last position and I was like, nope, just going to get out and take my small profit, because I knew that call was going to bite me for not selling it. So overall, that week I realized that I should have sold, and if I would have had, I would have had the 600 gains. But overall, like I said, I was able to get unrealized profit of 600, but not able to take those profits. So I'm okay with that. And I also had told myself that if I would have just hold, I'm not hold, if I would have just sold it at that instance, that 600 um, profits would have allowed me to literally take out my debt that I have with the lost profits that I have on the contract options that I made throughout this challenge. So therefore, overall, I think we're on track with being able to make that options positions that I have on all times. I think that's what it's called, but all the options that I made have made me go negative, and now my option loss is 793. Previously was around the 900 area. So I mean that's $100. I really do feel like I learned a lot for a day, and I see that I'm actually able to take profits even though it's not at best time. But no one ever, like I always tell myself and other people tell us, no one ever went broke taking profits. And if I do leave some profit on the table, I mean, it's fine, because I actually know that that play would have been better. And I mean, my conviction was right. So it just gives me more confident on what to do on the next play. So therefore, I'm not gonna make this video any more longer. I think this is my first ever over 17 minutes, over 12 minutes, and yeah, appreciate you sticking through the whole video. If you were able to do so, please give me a like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll give you a cookie. I mean, appreciate you guys. I do enjoy being able to reflect on the trades that I made today, and I really hope everyone else had a green day. If not, well, um, there's always that uh, next trading day that can happen, and just take profits whenever um, you're able to. And if you see that the graph is not going with what it shows, but sometimes the market just acts different how one would expect. So overall, thank you, and have a good rest of the day or evening, good night or morning. So thank you, goodbye, see you in the next one, later.